From the moment the intro began, part of me knew I was in for a ride that I just wasn't going to understand. Now, it had been 15 years, roughly 15 years, since I played a Kingdom Hearts game. And this intro showed me a ton of characters I had never seen before. Some of them looked very familiar because of the one that looked like Roxas. And the last game I had played in the Kingdom Hearts series was 352 Days Over 2, something like that. I can't remember. And I felt immediately like I was going to struggle understanding this story. Whenever they did the flashback to the original game, I felt a little bit better because maybe somehow it was all going to make sense. So before I even started the game, I watched a very lengthy summary video. This is going to be a video about not someone just playing a game, but a kid who's grown up playing something that he missed very dearly. This is a video about Kingdom Hearts 3. From the moment the title screen started to load in, I felt instant nostalgia start to kick in. It had been so long since I played a Kingdom Hearts game, but I felt like the 10-year-old kid I was back then whenever I first started playing the game, and I was excited to finally see what had happened to Sora and his friends, forgetting about the 10 games that came in between 2 and this one. I was extremely excited to see all the new worlds that they had added into Kingdom Hearts 3. Excited to see that they added Frozen, which, coming from a grown man, that's interesting. Considering I never really cared for Frozen to begin with. But it was something new, and I was ready to experience it. I couldn't imagine how many worlds they might be able to fit into this game, which I'll talk about later. I was excited to see the new summons and the new abilities and how maybe, expanding on the dual-wielding Keyblades, and I was excited for all of it. I sat down and prepared myself for how I might build and focus Sora on what stats I thought were most important. Would I choose between magic or strength, and how would I level up my character, and which abilities would I choose? How difficult it would be to manage inventory like it used to be, and making sure that your characters were top-notch, had the best gear possible. And I was excited for that, because I came in with a new mindset that I'm an adult now, so that can only mean I can handle it even better, because all I can remember is how difficult that Sephiroth battle was in Kingdom Hearts 2. No matter what I did, I could never beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. But I thought, this time, it's going to be different. The moment I fight Sephiroth in this game, I'm going to take him down. There's no way he's going to be able to stop me this time. I will get closure on that fight. And then I loaded up the game, and concern started hitting me almost immediately, because I felt so out of the loop and so disattached from these characters. Because why do I care who Aqua is? Why do I care who Ventus is? Terra? Because I don't know these characters. I recognize all the organization characters, and then come to find out there's some weird guy named Xehanort possessing bodies, because that's just what he does, because he wants to get the Keyblade and control Kingdom Hearts. And I was just like, so what about Xemnas? What about Ansem? Oh, they're the same guy. That's right. And it stopped being so concerning on, the whole gameplay, on what I was going to do, the moment I realized that certain stats, your stats don't matter in this game. They don't matter nearly as much as they used to. You had to be a little bit more decisive on which Keyblade you were going to use, and truth be told, the moment I got the Monsters Inc. Keyblade, I just used it the rest of the game. Because it was the best at just beating people up. And I never even fully upgraded it. And that's what sucks. And it's not that I didn't like the game. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was very fun. I love the combat too. It's just there was no depth to it. Not like how I remembered. And everything revolves off of me pressing triangle. And that's rarely if I want to if I want to just blaze through these battles, which at a certain point I just found myself skipping all of the battles. They weren't difficult. There was no Sephiroth battle for me in this game. In fact, there was no Sephiroth at all. There was no Final Fantasy characters at all. This was just Disney and Sora. It was, they kept Final Fantasy out of there, and I was sad to see that I couldn't, go visit Jack Skellington or even just check up on the old worlds that, see what has happened to them in the span of time that I missed them. And I realized that perhaps we did. Perhaps we did go check on those worlds in the previous games that I missed. And I don't know. I know there's a huge fan base for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I definitely don't want to make any of y'all mad for, that are watching this, but I feel like they really could have gone a lot further with this game if they didn't have such a bogged down, convoluted story for this game. I didn't need a Xehanort. I didn't need these 3 other Keyblade Masters. And then one that looks exactly like Roxas, which is a character that I met in 2, which was very confusing, trying to figure out and distinguish between the two. And I love how they made jokes in this game about their own story. Axel expressed exactly how I felt perfectly.
Axel? Who's Axel? See? Major brainache. Huh? Now who?
But at the same time, I see how important it was for this to be wrapped up the way it was. Because of all the questions that they had and problems that they had, left wide open due to previous games, they closed it up. For all the fans who have been sticking through since Kingdom Hearts 1 and have played everything, I thought that was awesome. And that's exactly what people need. But from what I understand, even some of the major fan base people aren't very happy with how this game ended. So before I get into spoiler area, which I'm about to touch on, let me just talk just general gameplay and what I thought about the gameplay. Combat, super flashy, super friendly for kids. It's not like you need a lot of attention to detail when trying to pull off certain things. Like if you want to go for builds, there's not a build to worry about. You don't have to worry about that. This game is easy to play casually. You can go at your own pace. There's no necessary, rush. There's no in-game grind. As far as I'm aware, there are battle gates at the end of the game once you finish the game, which allows you to essentially level up and try different challenges, as well as get materials to craft new items, which I haven't even done. I wasn't going to push it that much. Because like I said, I was just going after just the nostalgia kick at the same time, it being modern, and waiting for a game like this for so long. Story-wise, like I said, super convoluted, but I will say just some of my most enjoyed parts, because I didn't know the story so well, was actually going through these worlds and helping out these Disney characters. Now, there's not a lot of worlds. I think there's seven worlds, because you have, let's go off the bat, there's Hercules, there's Twilight Town, or is it Twilight Town? Twilight Town, I think. I wanted to list off all the all the worlds, but off the top of my mind, I can't remember all of them. But you know, there's a few, but they were extremely padded out because of how little there were compared to the previous games like Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts 1. But they're really big levels, so there's plenty of stuff to explore in these worlds. I'm sure there's plenty of things that I miss, little secrets. Really awesome to see the selfie mechanic in it. I enjoy taking pictures of the characters from these worlds as well, and seeing how they interact with Sora as he's taking pictures. For cutscenes, the cutscenes are extremely long, so get ready to sit down and put the controller to the side from time to time, because they tend to go on, which, you know, isn't necessarily bad. Sometimes you need a breather from beating up things, but sometimes you really just want to see what's next, and you don't want to have to watch 20 minutes worth of cutscenes, and that can be exhausting. Trying to think what else. The music is phenomenal. I love the music to this game. It is peaceful, it is very relaxed, as well as being very upbeat, and the tone for whatever's going on fits greatly, and I love it. I could honestly just listen to the soundtrack by itself. They did great on this. Trying to think. The character design, phenomenal. Graphics. I mean, I'm not someone who cares much for graphics. Graphics are good. There's certain iffy things that I don't know why they put so much detail into, like Hercules. Hercules looks a little bit weird, but you know, 2D character coming into 3D. I don't know. It's I still like it though. Characters are awesome. The voice acting can be kind of cheesy from time to time.
It's not the sum of our parts. It's the sum of our hearts.
Yeah.
It's on the gummy phone.
So, if you're wondering if maybe you should get this game or not, just because you missed out on the major story and plot devices for the game, I would say just either play the games beforehand and then play this game, or watch a summary. You still feel like you're missing some kind of information, but I would say this game is definitely awesome. If you're not a fan for this stuff, stay away. It wouldn't be for you. There's too much convoluted things going on at once, and it can be really irritating trying to keep up sometimes. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into spoiler territory and talk about some of my biggest gripes that happened towards the end of the game. So if you don't want any spoilers, I would say go ahead and leave the video, leave a thumbs up, whatever you want to do. I appreciate you for watching for this long. Alright, so spoiler talk now. Okay. What the crap was that final act? It became one of the most padded out things I ever had to experience just to finish a game. We get Ventus, we get Aqua, we get these characters that we need, and and they just, I don't know, and then they take them away because the darkness overwhelms everyone, and then you have to go through this annoying sequence of chasing down this Heartless who has their hearts. And it would have been one thing if I only had to fight him one time, but we had to go to every world we previously visited to get the heartbacks. The hearts back. Anyway, I got flustered. I sound really stupid, but it just, oh my god, it killed me. The fact is, how many times I had to do it and how long it took. It took roughly 45 minutes for that sequence to be done. And then on top of that, they make you relive the sequence of Terra isn't really Terra again. Annoying. So annoying. And then you go into the labyrinth and you start fighting Organization 13. And I don't know, part of me thought, oh, so it's the final battle. They let me do a battle gate. They gave me battle gates so I can train up. I hop in there. The fights are a breeze. Just spam X. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing that kept me excited like in Kingdom Hearts 2. Whenever you and Riku are back to back just deflecting laser beams. Why? It didn't feel like there was a build up saying that this is the end of Kingdom Hearts at all. At all. And that sucked. It was like no one was concerned what was going on. We should look for Aqua. We should look for this black box. We should really tell Riku and the king that they're looking for a black box. Never even mentioned again after you took King Mickey and Riku. Nothing happens. But then you get, oh my god, okay. And then we get back on track. You go through the labyrinth. And then you fight Xemnas, Ansem, and then young Xehanort. And you beat the mess out of them. Easy peasy. And then they all have very dramatic things to tell you. Every last one of the organization members have something dramatic to tell you as they're dying. And, you know, hey, cool. You know, there's some closure for these characters. Awesome. That's nice. But you get to the last Xehanort, Ansem, and young Xehanort, and then Xemnas. And you get to fight Xehanort, all the other Keyblade wielders. Oh yeah, by the way, I meant to say this. Kairi explodes into shattered pieces because Xehanort destroys her. And he's like, ah yes, that's all the keys I need to make the Keyblade now. And all the other Keyblade warriors, they prep up for this fight. And then Kingdom Hearts shows up. Xehanort raises up the Keyblade, controls Kingdom Hearts now, and he overwhelms it with darkness. Because darkness was the natural state of things before the light. And they're like, okay, we'll take him. And then Sora's like, no, I got it. And you go in there, you go into this awesome, oh my god, I would have loved to have played in this city. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But I want to call it Alfredo sauce for some reason. But awesome city. That city was so cool, and I would love to have actually got to explore more of that area. And the way Xehanort, you have to fight all 13 members again at the same time, but it wasn't quite as intense as them, you know, almost individually. I mean, they were paired up with another one whenever you're going through the labyrinth, but it wasn't as intense as that. Sure, they knock you around a couple times, but, you know, you do enough damage, and then suddenly they're gone. Then Xehanort shows up, and then Xehanort gets some weird ram armor. Really weird ram armor. And where his eyes are, but I don't know, like the ram's head on the helmet moves around, but his head isn't moving. And I think they forgot that his head was in there. But you fight him. He starts warping the world, which it's super cool. It's very what is it called? I'm gonna have to forget about that. It's stupid reference. Inception. Inception was the reference I was thinking of. Anyway, but yeah, you fight him, and the entire map turns all super Inception-like. And then he had some super cheesy moves, which all you had to do was press square eventually, and then you could just block all of them. So like I said, no real difficult battle in the game. I don't think I ever died. No, that's not true. I actually did die. I died actually to a really cool sequence when all the Keyblades in the Keyblade graveyard start flying around, and you start riding them, and it took me a minute to realize, oh, I'm supposed to be pressing triangles and sending these things out. And as you're pressing triangle, it's like names for each of the Keyblades. And from what I understand, that's from Union X, or one of these mobile games that they did that had a bunch of players' names in it, and that's super cool. I think that's awesome. That's really cool for, you know, people who stuck to this game for so long and actually see their name pop up on there somewhere. The fact is, it goes by so quick. You know, good luck catching your name in that, because if you sit around too long, you die because you get blasted by darkness meteors. Anyway, so you fight. Going back to the whole Xehanort fight, you beat him, you break his armor. He's like, time to fight me up here, and you go up there, you fight him on a ring. It's dope, and there's a moment he takes your light in this fight, but his abilities don't change. You can still keep pressing square, stop any kind of stun lock, and then once you're ready to attack him, you just go nuts. And finally, you beat him, and you have this guy, Master Ericus, something like that. He shows up out of Terra's body, which I have no idea, because I didn't understand. I really didn't, and they're friends, and just like, oh well, you know, I lost, okay. And then it gives you a flashback to them as kids playing this chess game, and you know, and then it ends, and you know, they stop Kingdom Hearts from being taken over. They give Sora the Keyblade, and voila. Kingdom Hearts is gone, but they need to go get Kairi back. And Sora's like, I'm a go-getter. Oh no, I know what to do. And then I couldn't record any of the ending because they wouldn't let me, because I do everything off of a PS4. Even my videos, I edit off of the PS4. So, and I'm trying to think of the details here, because it was just, oh my god. I guess Sora goes to go get Kairi. Everyone's playing like frisbee on the beach, and then they look over and Kairi is holding Sora's hand, and they look like they're about to kiss, but then Sora disappears. And I guess it implies that Sora dies because Kairi cries. Like, what's going on? And then it goes back to young Ericus and young Xehanort playing their chess game. Or it does this before, I don't know. And then Ericus goes, oh, I heard about another game. Oh no, this is after all the final video happens. And then you have a cutscene in the cutscene video, or end of credits video, of people meeting up in Union Cross, I guess. And then there's the black box that they mentioned casually at the very beginning of the game 20 hours ago. And this organization guy was actually just pretending. I don't know. And he's like, I got what I want. Yep, this is the thing. That's all they say. And then you got young Xehanort and young Ericus. Oh, and young Ericus is like, oh, have you played this game? I got a new game we could play. And he slams the piece on the thing, and it hints at a new game coming up. So cool. Awesome. So now I'm assuming they're going to break away from Kingdom Hearts 3. Awesome. But then there's an extra video which I got for, I guess I have to collect a certain amount of emblems, which I was looking all over the place for those because I really just want to see what you can get. I didn't find all of them. I think I only found like 53, something like that. And then Sora wakes up in a puddle, and Riku wakes up in a puddle, and Riku looks like he woke up in the video game world from Toy Story, and Sora, I don't know where he wakes up from, or what I read, it was from The World Ends With You, which is like the Reaper game. You know, everyone's speculating, oh, he died, and the only way he can come back to life is if he wins the Reaper game. I was like, okay. So is there going to be another Kingdom Hearts without Disney, and they're only focusing on Square Enix games? Or are they, I don't know. It was so confusing. I didn't know what they wanted to do, but it was a ride. It got exhausting towards the end. I was ready for it to be over. But hey, I mean, I'm glad I paid played and paid for it. Oh my god. I got the collector's edition. Pretty proud of it. Had the fancy little pin and everything else in it, so but yeah, that's it's just not a hardcore fan talking about Kingdom Hearts, just someone who missed this game very dearly coming back to it, and it's a completely different thing than you remember. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It takes some work to make these videos because like I said, it is all done on the PS4 with the Share Factory. So I got to make the best out of what I have. If you think there's any areas that you'd like to see, touched up on a little bit more, because this wasn't a review video or anything like that. It was just a talking about a game video, which I love talking about games, and I always want to make a game, just like a game topic video before. So this is what it is. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. I hope you'll stick around for the next video I make. I don't have a specific genre of videos I do. I just do whatever I feel like at the time, and until I find my niche, But y'all have a good one. Take care.